Good morning, afternoon and evening, my crazies. My name's Angela, I'm the Crazy Poppy Lady, and welcome back to this week's Whips, Bits and Chat. It's going to be short, it's going to be sharp. Okay, so first up we have, of course, a new pattern release, which is the Jackie Jumps jumper. Now that is available now over on Ravelry. The written pattern has everything you need to know on how to make this jumper and how to size it to you, and it also has videos to go along with it. So if there's a bit that you're not too sure about, you can jump onto the appropriate video and watch from there. Now the other one that's a newish release, of course, is the Little Bird blanket and cushion set. Now that one, of course, is available over on Ravelry, and that comes with 8 videos. That was a monster, and only 2 of them are on how to make the bird. The rest is to do with other stuff, including, of course, the border, which will only be available to you if you have purchased the written pattern. Now it's time for all that boring channel stuff. Okay, first up we have got the not subscriptions, that's the wrong thing to say, but it's similar to it. It's the memberships. Now I've got a membership program running at the moment. There is 3 levels on that. There is a video that if you click on the membership button and down below, there'll be a video that pops up where I explain it a little bit better. It's a garbled mess, but basically there is 3 levels. One level you get to play with stickers, the second one you get to play with stickers and there's something else, and then the third one you get everything from the 2 levels prior, and you also get a pattern of the month. Now this pattern of the month will be a jumping jack jumper, and that will be coming out, I believe, today. I'm going to have to check my stats on that one. So which means I need to get me butt in gear, get a coupon code going and pop it up on the communication page. I need coffee, give me a second. So you will find the link, if you are a Asylum member, you will find the link to the code for that pattern for free in the community tab. Now it's time for yarn from me back window. I still haven't thought of what to call it. Okay, now for any of you that don't know, I'm a bit crazy and I do dye cotton and cotton mix yarns. In my kitchen I make a right mess. It's hilarious, but all the videos are available on YouTube, and so I thought today I would show you a couple. Let's just take those. A couple of hanks from one of the videos, and then I will link the video up here when I can remember which one it is, and you can go along and pop over and have a look and see how I dyed it. Okay, now I love these. Okay, so these hanks are 50% acrylic, 50% cotton. They're a 4-ply fingering weight. There is 50 grams per hank. There is approximately 165 meters or 180 yards. Needle and hook size are recommended at 3mm, and wash it at 30 degrees. And of course, don't bleach it, because otherwise you lose all the colour. Don't iron it. Lay flat to dry, and of course you can hand wash it if you prefer. Okay, so the first colourway up is a light sage green. Okay, it's quite a nice solid colour on there. I'm not too sure if it's showing it true to you, but there's truer images of this yarn on that video that's linked up there. The next one, this is one of my favourites. This is the pink and poppy purple roses. Now I call it the poppy purple because I was like a school kid. I only had 3 colours to play with, so I mixed them and I actually managed to get a really nice shade of purple, so it's poppy purple. Okay, so it's pink and a poppy purple. Now the pink is quite a nice dark pink, and there is lots of different tonal shades within it, as you can see there. Absolutely love it. And the purple of course is running on the outside there. Now you do get a closer look of these yarns of course on that video, but there they are. Now I've got 2 of each of these colourways, so in total that would be 200 grams up for grabs today or any other day that you decide you want to contact me. Please be advised though, if you are living outside of the UK, postage is flipping ridiculous, and for the 4, I think it works out to about 22 UK pound just for postage. There you go, I've dropped the clanger. Or proper drop the clanger on that one. So now I've told you how much it could cost you in postage. So of course I fully understand that if you're outside of the UK, that's just ridiculous. I wouldn't pay it personally, so that's why I don't push it to you guys outside of the UK. But US girl, UK girls, if you fancy it, drop me an email. Right. Okay, so what have I been up to this week? Well, I've decided that I'm gonna start making things that make me happy and things that are off my wish list. My wish list, not yours, not yours, my wish list. And before I started my channel, or quite early on in, I can't quite remember the dates, I made a shawl. And this shawl was massive and absolutely gorgeous and so me. But the problem was, it was a commission. It was one of my only commissions. The chap had come to pick up a computer from my husband, and I was joking around, and I was crocheting something else, and he said, "Oh, you crochet? Do you make all sorts of things?" And I was just general chat. Yep, I do. Blah blah blah. And I said, "Why is that?" He goes, "Well, I think I'm going to be in trouble with my wife, and she likes creative stuff." And I said, "Well, of course you're going to be in trouble with your wife. You're trying to sneak a gaming computer tower into the house that's larger than the one that you had before. She's going to notice because she probably dusts it." And he's like, "Yeah, I'm in trouble." I said, "You don't have to be." And he went, "What?" I said, "Well," and I was being proper cheeky, and he'd known me for a while, and he'd always said I was proper cheeky. And I said to him, I said, "You don't have to be in trouble. Just tell me what you think she'll want and I'll make it." And he went, and I didn't expect him to agree. He went, "Yeah, gotcha. Right." I said, "So, favourite animals, favourite this, favourite that, favourite other, and the other thing." And I reeled off some things, and he reeled off some things back. And a pattern sprung to mind that I'd seen that I absolutely adored. And that was the Rambling Roses shawl by Pippi Poppycock. Or Pippin. Hold on a minute. Which was the Rambling Roses shawl, which I'd seen hosted on It's Crochet O'Clock. And the pattern's by Pippin Poppycock. I believe it's Pippin and not Pippi, but if it's wrong, I'll write all the info on the screen anyway, and there'll be links in the description box. Now this was a cow from like 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, and so that would have been about the time. It was about that time, 3-4 years ago, and so I made up this shawl. And now the girls, the husband said, hold on, let me show you it quickly. It's not the best because it'll be on my tablet, but there we go. Let's see if I can do it without reflection too much. Look at that, isn't it cute? Right, so that's the It's Crochet O'Clock version of the shawl. Okay, well, of course, it turned out that the girl likes zebras, and he thought the only way to do it is to buy her lots and lots of roses. And I said to her, I showed it to him, and he was like, can I have red roses? I said, yeah, I think you'd better. So I made the shawl for him, or I should say for her. Come on, photo, tablet even. I'll turn around in a second, and I'll show you the back of mine. There we go. Wrong way. Let's go up. It's not brilliant because of the photo and the fact it's red, and red doesn't really like to be shown on camera, but honestly I absolutely fell in love with it when it was made, and I didn't want to hand it over physically. I was just like, got no choice, I'll hand it over. So of course this pattern has always been on my to-do list, or to do again list, and for a pattern to get on my to do again list is insane. I don't like repeating patterns because I've been scarred by the poppies. I'm just going to put it like that. Don't like repeating patterns because I will always find something that I want to change in it if I do. But I sat down on Sunday last week, picked up my hook and went, do you know what, it's time to do it. It's time to make your own one of these that you're going to get to keep. Now I've bought some findings for the front. I think you call them findings, but basically they're like the loops that go on your jacket as a kid to hold toggles on. So I've bought some of these toggly things. I'm just going to call them that, toggly things, to sew on the front, because I notice with me in shawls they fall down, so it's easier if I just toggle it. So that's what I'm going to do once it's done. But I also was tempted to add a hood to it as well and make it something a bit more wearable for me personally. But at the moment it's just a case of how much can I get done. So if you'd popped over to Ursula at OMG a Granny Squares on Monday, you'd know all about this because I showed it. And I managed to get up to row 20. What was it? I managed to do row 20 on the first day, so that was Sunday. So I was working on keep going during the Ursula's live. Okay, so I started off, and it's got quite a yeah, so in total this chunk here is 52 rows. I can say that because it's now a free pattern, but it's in total it's 52 rows. Now yes, I've chosen purple as my flower colour, and on screen it's not showing the best shade. Actually at here, this is the colour it is at the moment, and this is the colour you're looking at, or I should say I'm looking at. Okay, if I bring it too close it changes flipping colour, but yeah. Yeah, right, so it's a dark purple with black and white stripes. Yeah, it's gonna do everybody's eyes in. I'm wearing it so I won't see it. But yeah, so in the end this section took me, what was it, I did 20 on the first day, 20 rows, sorry. Then I brought it up to 38 on the second day. I knew I wouldn't get another 20 in because they got longer. Then I had a break on the third day because my hand was hurting. On the fourth day I got back to it again, and what was it, I actually managed to get it done. I managed to get the 52. I went a bit crazy and thought, well, if my hand falls off it's fine, I'll have another day off. I need to do other things for the channel. But my hand didn't fall off, and I woke up the next day not knowing what day it was. Actually I've only just realised it's Sunday, and that's only because I've had an Easter egg thrown at me. So the next thing, once you've done that, is to make the roses. Now you make all these roses individually, and you have to make lots of them, lots and lots. Sorry, I've got a little trick where I put some yarn through them all okay, to hold them all together so they can't fall down the sofa or get lost or get buried and nicked by the dog and buried. Okay, so you make the roses and you make these separately, and yes, there's big holes in them all the way around. And then what you do is, once you've made all these, you've got to square them off. So you take one of your background colours, which for me is the black. That is going to be the more dominant out of my striped section, and you square them off, and you square them and you square them, and you keep going and you keep going and you keep going. Now these look really lovely, but as you can see here, there is a gap at the back. Okay, now that is how the pattern is left. It's squared, but there is this gap at the back. Personally, for me, I'm known for catching things. I'm known catching my clothing and stuff like that. So if I can do it so that it's not going to catch on anything, that's what I'm going to do. So I've put an extra square in and sewn that extra square around. It's only on this one at the moment. I've got to do the rest of them yet. So today's job is to finish squaring off, and then to make all of the back squares and sew them all in. And I'm hoping to get that done soon. It's quite a big job. There's 17 of these in total. Okay, so 17 of these that need squared off, minus of course the 2 that I've shown you. But I'm going to keep going keep going on it, and fingers crossed I can have some of these squared off tonight, and then I'm going to keep going over this next coming week and hopefully have it done by Sunday next week, whilst trying to work out what content I can put on the channel that's going to interest you. The library's closed, it's Easter. I put in an order, they arrived Friday, but it was closed on Friday. I'm hoping that it will be open again on Tuesday, Wednesday, but I'm not too sure. I did have a notification saying that they were going to go on holiday, because quite a lot of it's run by volunteers nowadays, rather than, and there'll be like maybe 1 or 2 members of staff that are full paid staff, but the rest are volunteers. So I'm just going to have to hope for the best and get hold of some books for you. I'm not going out to purchase any. I've got no room for any more books, because quite a chunk of them before I found my library card I bought. Yeah, so I've got stacks upon stacks of magazines and stuff that once I've looked through once, I haven't looked through again, and it just feels like a waste really, because of course I'm not going to make half of the patterns in them anymore. Tempted to sell them on, we'll see. But yeah, so as far as everything else is concerned, I've been overtaken by roses, and I'm just having fun making something again that's solely for me, that I'm not having to record for you guys, and I'm not having to voice over. And to be honest, projects go a lot quicker when you don't have to record them or even think about the pattern and try and make it up as you go along or anything else. No, I don't make all my patterns up as I go along. I normally make a draft, then I go on to make the real one. But yeah, crazy. Totally and utterly crazy. So of course during this week I've been teasing everybody over on Instagram, and I've been popping on photographs of course of the shawl as it's going. So what I'm going to do now is show you some of the photographs that I put up on Insta. Now I've been having a lot of issues with Insta lately, and I've been getting bombarded by cons basically. I'm being tagged in posts saying, oh, be a representative of us. I've never even seen the company before. So I did put a comment underneath one of them. I was in a foul mood. I've also been getting messages from men, supposedly, wanting to be my friend. No interest, of course, in crochet, wanting to throw money at me and all those other scams. So I've started to get really strict with who follows me, because they'll follow, they might comment, and then they start, and I'm just like, no, delete constantly. So I'm sorry to say, but if you were male, if you're male, or your Insta name sounds male or sounds like a company of some sort, and I've deleted you, and you are actually somebody over here, do me a favour, send me a message with the word, oh crikey, what can we think of, lunatic. No. No, I can't even spell that. Send it and just say, you told me to put a code word in and you couldn't remember, you didn't know what to put. At least then I will know that you're actually a channel member, because hey, you all know how loopy and crazy and forgetful I am, and that way it means then I won't delete you. Okay, but yeah, it's just been crazy, the amount of scams that are over on Instagram. Astronomical, absolutely astronomical. But anyway, let's get on with the photos. Okay, so now it's for an update, because I know some of you are wanted to know, what dress have I picked for my best mate's son's wedding? Well, we went out shopping, we couldn't find nothing locally, and my body started playing up and falling apart, so we came home after we'd been to the chocolate shop and had a really nice hot chocolate. We came back and I promised her that I would go out again on my own and raid Cheltenham, because in Cheltenham there are lots of different shops in different price ranges, and I said to her, if I can find a dress, I don't care how much it's going to cost me, I'm going to do it. And so I went via quite a few little local independents, and one lass there, I said to her, dress me. She went, you what? I said, dress me. I said, I've got a wedding to go to, I'm just a guest. I said, I want to look presentable. I said, but I have no idea what size I am now, because it's been 3 years pretty much since I bought anything new, and we've had a lot of weight go on. I said, I've got a troublesome area, which is my stomach, so some days it will look reasonable, other days it will look like I'm an elephant and I'm 18 months pregnant and it sticks out further than the girls. I said, so I need something that will hide that if I'm on a bad belly day. And she said, right, okay. And I said, but other than that, I don't know about colour, I don't know about shape, and I don't know what suits me anymore. Because years and years ago, I was a beanpole, I was skinny, I had no meat on me at all. Then I had my children, I gained a little bit of weight, then I lost it again. Then I had my second one, and I gained a lot of weight with her. Shifted some of it, but never got down to my weight after I had my first. I'm going to put it like that, because the weight prior to me having first, I believe, was too thin for me. So I like being around 10.5 stone, because I'm 5'8". So I like being around 10.5 stone. Let's just put it like this. There's 1.5 of me at the moment. So yeah, so she pulled out a load of dresses, and there were some really nice ones there, but I have noticed that the clothing that we have in the UK at the moment is the same as what it was in Australia when we went over at Christmas, and I tried to buy a load of stuff while I was over there, but nothing looked right on me because of the styles, which are a gypsy floaty, which I would normally love, or at least I did used to love. but I put it on and I was on a mid tummy day, so it wasn't the biggest it's been, and it certainly wasn't the smallest. And I put all of these dresses on, and they were all cut under on the bias. So of course, when my stomach pokes out the most, that's what it showed. Every single outfit, every single dress. We tried a trousers. Oh dear, we tried what are they called? The all-in-ones, like a trouser dressy type thing, all in one, where you have to strip off to go to the loo, which is really impractical for me. But I tried it on. It nearly split me in half. My torso's longer than what shops seem to think they should be. I'll just put it like that. Forget the legs, the torso was too long. So I was getting cut in half. So I was like, right, that one can go back on the shelf. All the dresses went back on the shelf, and I went to the next shop. I'd walked around a couple of posh ones, then I'd done Primark, then I'd done, oh well, put it like this, I did nearly every shop along that High Street Bar one, and that one was for teens. I'm sorry to say, the stuff in there is teen, and I'm not going down that route. Okay, I'm not a mum that wants to be their kid type scenario. I even went into the shop that I've always sworn I wouldn't go into because it's for older people. I went in there, I couldn't find nothing, and I was like, this is ridiculous. All of the shapes seem similar. And so after a good couple of hours of plodding along and getting more and more in pain, I went back to the car and I drove home. Still unable to find anything. So I sent Bestie some photos, and even she said, oh my gosh, girl, you got problems. I'm like, yeah, don't I know it. So I've now got to go out, and I've said to her, I'm buying the trousers. That's it. I'm just going to go. I'm going to buy some trousers, some nice smart tailored trousers, this nice smart tailored jacket, and put a pretty top with it. She said, okay girl, good luck. That's 3 pieces of clothing that you need to find instead of 1. She's sadistic and evil, but she does love me in her own special way. Now it's time for the besties bit, which is your photos. And yes, I'm being evil to you this week. It is poppy catch-up time. So in regards to my poppies, I don't need to tell you about them, do I? But we have got 2 gorgeous girls that have joined in on this year's Poppy Brooch challenge. They are Crafty Moo Sarah and Dinky Crafts Jennifer. I always get her name wrong, sorry honey, because I just like calling her Dinky. Right, okay, so their photographs are coming up now. There will be a number count on the side, and any extra information that you have given me on the side of their photos. Thank you ever so much, girls, for keeping going at this. And Dinky, you's cheeky, finding all extras. She can knit as well. She's showing off now. Right, that's it for me for today. I've talked your ear off. I've managed to get to approximately 30 minutes. I'm in shock. So I'm going to see you all really, really soon. So please remember to stay chilled, stay happy, and keep crafting. Goodbye, everybody.